Hello everyone. Welcome to this video on adding the report viewer control to a Blazor Server application. The report viewer is a reporting control that empowers web and desktop applications with the ability to view ssrs-rdl and RDLC reports and export them. In this video, I'll show you how to create a Blazor reporting web application to render our report viewer control. Before getting started with the web report viewer, make sure your development environment includes the following: Visual Studio 2019 and higher version with ASP.NET and web development workloads, .NET Core 3.1 and higher version framework. First, create a Blazor Server application. Open Visual Studio 2022 and click Create New Project. Choose Blazor Server App. And then click Next. If this template is not available, refer to the link in the video description to configure the system environment. Change the project name to Blazor Report Viewer. And click Next. In the Additional Information dialog, choose the target framework, .NET Core 6.0. And click Create. The default Blazor Server application is created. Now let me install the NuGet packages. In the Solution Explorer tab, right-click the project or solution and choose Manage NuGet Packages. In the Browse tab, search for the bold reports.net.core package and install it in the Blazor Server application. For this demo, I have installed the bold reports.net.core NuGet package version 4.2.52. You can install the NuGet package version based on your requirement. Similarly, install the remaining packages: system.data.sql client and Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.MVC.Newtonsoft.json. I have described the purpose of each package in the following table. The bold reports.net.core package creates a web API service to process the reports. System.data.sql client is an optional package. It should be installed when the RDL report contains an SQL server or SQL Azure data source. The Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.MVC.Newtonsoft.json package includes input and output formatters for JSON and JSON patch. Next, configure the web API. The Blazor Report Viewer requires a web API service to render the report viewer control. Right-click the data folder. Select Add. And then select New Item from the context menu. In the Add New Item dialog, select API Controller Empty. And name it Report Viewer Controller.cs. And click Add. In the Report Viewer Controller file, add the following statements. After the iReport controller interface is inherited, implement the following methods. The iReport controller interface has a declaration of action methods defined in the Web API controller for processing RDL, RDLC, and ssrs reports, and for handling resource requests from the report viewer control. The getResource method is used to get the resource from the report. The onInitReport options method is initialized when the report is about to be processed. The onReportLoaded method is initialized when the report and subreport start loading. The postFormReportAction method is used to download the exporting document from report viewer with form post action. The postReportAction method is used to post the request in the report process. Now let me add the routing information. Routing is the process of directing an HTTP request to a controller. The functionality of this process is implemented in system.web.routing. I changed the attribute route by including the controller and action names for processing report units correctly. Open the program.cs file. Add the app.mapControllers function to invoke this web API with the controller in action. Then initialize the report viewer. In this section, I integrate bold reports JavaScript controls into the app by creating an interop file to initialize the report viewer with basic parameters. Create a bold report viewer options.cs file in the data folder. Add the following code to hold the RDL report rendering properties. Create a folder named Scripts in the www root folder. Create a bold reports interop.js file inside the scripts folder. Add the following code snippet to invoke the bold report viewer JavaScript control. Create a folder named resources in the www root folder. This is where the RDL reports are stored. For this video, I'm going to add the sales-order-detail.rdl file to the resources folder. Now, to reference scripts and a theme. Here, I am using CDN links to reference the scripts and theme. You can also use local scripts and themes. I have included an FAQ link about using them in the description. Open the _host.cs HTML page from the Pages folder. And reference the online CDN links, along with the bold reports interop.js interop file, to use SF JavaScript reporting controls in a Blazor application. The purpose of each script and style sheet is explained in the following table. Bold.reports.all.min.css includes CSS properties for the JavaScript reporting component. The jQuery 1.10.2 script is used to render the Syncfusion JavaScript reporting widgets. ej2base.min.js, ej2data.min.js, ej2pdfexport.min.js, and ej2svgbase.min.js render the gauge item. ej2lineargauge.min.js renders the linear gauge. ej2circulargauge.min.js renders the circular gauge. ej2maps.min.js renders the maps. ej.chart.min.js renders the charts. bold.reports.common.min.js, bold.reports.widgets.min.js, and bold.reportviewer.min.js are required to render the bold reports report viewer. Open the index.razor file from the Pages folder. Replace the following code to inject IJS runtime, and invoke this JavaScript interop with the created report viewer URL in the index.razor file. This is used to view reports. I have added the Blazor report viewer.data namespace. Here, Blazor report viewer is the name of the Blazor application. The div element represents the container. Inside the div element, I assign the ID and style attributes. The ID attribute specifies the unique name for the HTML element, and I assign value report viewer. The style attribute is used to add the inline style for the div element, and I assign width and height. Inside a code method, I create an object to access the bold report viewer options class. I initialize the render report viewer method. Inside the render report viewer, I add the report path. and report service URL values. I enter the invoke void async method, which invokes the render viewer JavaScript function asynchronously. The render report viewer method is used to render the bold report viewer control in the Blazor page. Then I enter the onAfterRender method for initial rendering of the control. Save the file. Now let me show you how to add a valid license token. You can get a license token, or offline license file from the Bold Reports Accounts page. I click the Generate License Token. And then click Copy to Clipboard to copy the license token. Open program.cs file. And register the license using the Register License method. To preview the report, build and run the application. You can see that the Sales Order Details report is loaded in the Bold Report Viewer. In this video, I showed you how to add a report viewer component to a Blazor Server application. Stay tuned to this channel for our upcoming videos on Bold Reports. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.